from Osiris's perspective, Ocean Business is a very relevant show. I think it's less corporate than other events, and I think the fact that all our main equipment suppliers and manufacturers, software providers are all here, and it is very it's more of a personal sort of approach to things, and it's a good social sort of networking event. And I think people just get a lot out of it, and there's a lot of new developments, new equipment, and some very interesting equipment here. We obviously started with Freya back in 2002. She wasn't purely built for survey, but she adapted well to survey. And then in 2004 we had Leah built. Leah is a 15-metre aluminium cat, built specifically for coastal survey, and she's been very successful over the years. And I think the idea of the new catamaran is to mirror Leah's capabilities. From a work perspective, she will do a mixture of oil and gas and renewable work. The renewable work is probably mainly in connection with round 2 wind farm developments, and this is during the operational phase, sort of scale monitoring, cable depth of burial survey, and basically pre and post construction surveys, as well as landfall surveys for oil and gas. And then obviously we have the larger vessel, Bibi Tethra, which is a semi-swath catamaran, delivered in April 2011. And again, she's proved to be very successful, but in a very particular niche within the market. And we don't try to compete directly sort of head-on with the offshore vessels. We sort of pitch just between the capabilities of the traditional inshore, just beyond their capabilities, but in an area that large vessels aren't really suited to. So it's a very niche part of the business, a very manoeuvrable, practical vessel that can basically undertake close approach work, but has an endurance of 10 days and can support up to 16 crew. So a very different type of vessel. Main benefits of having our own vessels are availability is probably the biggest thing. In the contracts, the contracts are relatively short, and you get it's very difficult to match up the end of one contract with the start of another. So having your own vessel just means that you have this flexibility to be able to program the utilisation, and it just allows you to customise everything on board so that it fits your working practices. All the equipment is tailor-made to the type of work that you do, and it just makes a big difference, continuity for the guys that go on there. And it just means that the survey teams are familiar with both the vessel and all the equipment, the layout, the working practices, and it just makes for a very efficient survey package. We've maintained the relationship with Coda, and we use it as a primary tool for both side-scan sonar and sub-bottom data acquisition. And we've just taken the decision to stay with Coda with the introduction of the new DA4G systems and the new releases of software. So quite an investment. One of the main things is training of the personnel, in that we've invested a lot of time, effort and money in training all the geophysicists in using Coda. To move over to another system would be quite costly and expensive, although it's an option that's been looked at. But I think when we looked at the latest version of Coda compared with the competitors, it does pretty much everything the competitors do and more. And I think that the decision was a relatively easy one to make in the end. We moved into the existing office in 2010, but the numbers have grown so rapidly over the last few years that we now need additional office space and equipment storage space. So we've taken on an additional 8,000 square foot combined office and warehouse unit. We'll basically split the teams and have the contracts team in the new office, which will free up space in the existing office for the processing team. So just good additional warehouse and office facilities.